someone finally did it. I say finally, but they actually did it like over a year ago. This is sort of an embarrassing video to make. I got contacted by Sonixinema like a year and a half ago. I think it was like August of 2023 about a new library they were putting out called Swells, and they wanted me to demo it and maybe make a video about it. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I have this film coming up. I think that's like a perfect opportunity to do a demo and make a video talking about my experience with the library. I'd love to like check it out and see if it's, something I'm interested in, can use. So they send me this library, and honestly, when I first got it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Like, I think I can make use of this. And as we were kind of going back and forth and I started working on this project, they put out an update for the library, and it was like maybe a couple months after they originally sent it to me. Maybe not even that long. I don't quite remember. But in the update, they got rid of this thing they had where it would like rebow. It was a string swells library where, it records like actual swells of strings up and down in volume. And there was like this rebow thing that would happen in every swell, and they got rid of that, which I thought was really cool. But then they did the thing that I have been waiting for swell libraries to do for what feels like years. Maybe there were already sample libraries that did this, but none that I was using. And what it is they made it possible to change notes in the middle of a swell. You see, in original swell libraries, basically the way that it would always work is that you pick a note and it plays the entire swell duration of that note. So like, it goes up in volume and then it goes down in volume. And if you were to play a different note in the middle of that swell, you would start going up in volume, down in volume again, but it would be mismatched. Like this one would start swelling and then start going down, and then this one would start swelling. And so what you could never achieve was a really fluid way to change notes or add notes in the middle of a swell, but have it all stay perfectly in time. The geniuses at Sonixinema figured out a way to do this with just incredible results. And remember, I had already had the library before they did this update. When I got this update, that was the moment I was like, this is the sickest swell library of all time. And so we're at the part of the story where you're thinking, wait, this was like over a year ago. Why am I just seeing a video on this now? The answer is that film that I was going to use as a part of the video just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and I'm actually done with the score now, and I wrote this really, really freaking awesome cue with the swell library. But it's still not out, and I still can't really share it. So I was thinking about it. I've used the library a ton since then. I feel like I owe Sonixinema a debt. And so I'm going to make a quick video today just showing you how incredibly awesome this library is. I'm not going to go through all of the presets and every single feature. I really just want to focus on a sort of in-action look at what I'm using this library for now over the last year and a half, almost 2 years. And hopefully encourage you to go check it out for yourself, because it's really, really freaking awesome. So let's take a look. Okay, so here is a session that I have. This session is actually from BB Rexha's Coachella set last year. I wrote this like big cinematic intro to one of her songs and did an arrangement. I'm not going to actually show the song and stuff, but I am going to show all the stuff I made. And basically what they were kind of after was a very Hans Zimmer-y, cinematic, emotional sort of thing. I mean, you'll hear kind of what the reference probably was once you actually hear the track. But basically what I needed was big open piano chords with some string swells, which is like, all right, I've got the Sonixinema library. This is going to be the jam. And let me show you what I mean by this legato change, and you'll see just how freaking brilliant it is. So this is what I'm using mostly in this track. This is a normale, which just means no effects. Obviously, there's all this other stuff you can do. Senza viv, which means like no vibrato. Solpant, which is when they do the bow a little bit closer to the bridge. Soltasto, which is they do the bow closer to the fingerboard, just like a darker sound. Tremolo, but for this I'm using normale. It syncs to your host tempo, and you can set how long you want the swells to be. So for this, I was changing chords every 2 bars, but I wanted the swells to last 4 bars, which again, that combination of things is something you could not have done before this legato thing that they added. And so I'm on the normale legato patch. The swells are happening every 4 bars, but the chords are happening every 2. And just listen to how freaking awesome this is. So yeah, I mean, you can, like, that sounds almost like recorded strings. And it's really easy to play. I mean, if you just play... See, you can change single notes. You could change, like, full chords. You can leave some higher note the same while the other ones change. It's crazy. Like, this is what I have been after in swell libraries, and it feels so simple and so obvious, but the fact that Sonixinema did it just made it immensely usable. And I mean, just listen to this in context. Like, I might as well have freaking recorded real strings. Yeah, and it's just like you can layer it with other strings and it sounds freaking incredible. This is those swells continuing layered with like some melodies and stuff from Cinematic Studio Strings. Sits underneath everything and gives it this breath, this like inhale exhale that just adds some depth to the music. I'm obsessed with it. I use it all the time. It's so awesome. When it got to the quieter part here, I used the saltasto instead of the normale. Such a beautiful texture. A lot darker, kind of airier. It's just such a great way to fill out the space and add some breath. I'm freaking obsessed with it, if you can't tell. And yeah, that's why I wanted to show it today, just because it is really freaking awesome. I'm so sorry, Sonixinema, that it took me this long, but you do deserve the video because it's an incredible library and it's very utilitarian and I use it all the time. So thank you so much. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Subscribe. I've got a ton of videos. There's already a bunch of stuff on my channel looking into sample libraries and scores of mine, and there's a lot more to come. So I'll see you in the next one.